Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. RHOC, Meghan King shares son's devastating diagnosis. Former Bravo star Meghan King, who spent 3 seasons on Real Housewives of Orange County, is talking about her son Hart's latest diagnosis. Meghan King gives RHOC an update on Hart's health. While promoting her new activewear line with clothing company Susuyu, Meghan revealed that her 5-year-old son has been diagnosed with mood disorder diagnosis. Hart, who Meghan shares with her ex-husband, Cardinals legend Jim Edmonds, also suffers from cerebral palsy. During a chat with US Weekly, Meghan revealed that her new limited edition activewear line, Hardy, named in honor of her son's nickname, will help with his care following his new diagnosis. Meghan, who also shares Hart's twin brother Hayes and daughter Aspen, 7, with Jim, explained that she is just like other parents as she tries to navigate what is best for her son's health. His needs fall under the neurodivergent category, and so, like a lot of other parents with children in this category, it can be really trying to find your way through the weeds to figure out what's going on with your kid, and finding a diagnosis in order to be able to articulate his needs better, so we can provide the access to his needs, she said. Meghan King wants to break the stigma by talking about psychiatric diagnoses in kids. Meghan explained that these kinds of diagnoses are becoming more prevalent, and by speaking out, she hopes that more people feel comfortable talking about children's mental health. She noted the stigma has been broken when it comes to talking about adults and their mental health struggles. She continued, but we haven't really extended that same sort of grace to our children who are grappling with psychiatric issues. And it doesn't just affect the individual child who really struggles to understand their emotions. They're growing up just like every other child, but they have extra hurdles to work through. And they don't understand that, and that affects the entire family unit because of it. Meghan, who calls herself a lucky mom, explained that the proceeds from Hardy will go to reimburse everything that I've poured my heart, soul, and money into. The important is Hart. The RHOC star is finally on the same page with her ex when it comes to her kids. Meghan and Jim publicly struggled to co-parent following their 2021 divorce. Admitting that she has not been in the same room as Jim in a very long time, she told the outlet in another interview that things are good between them. The former couple has improved their relationship, and ironically, this has a lot to do with Jim's marriage to Courtney O'Connor Edmonds. While she jokes that they aren't going out for a happy hour, she does view Courtney as a positive influence in her children's lives. Meghan's Hardy collection, which includes leggings, hoodies, and sports bras, is available on Susuyu.com until Tuesday, September 3. Meghan King, a familiar face to fans of the Real Housewives of Orange County, RHOC, recently opened up about a profoundly personal and heartbreaking chapter of her life. In a raw and emotional post, Meghan shared the devastating news that her young son, Hart, had been diagnosed with a neurological disorder that would forever change the course of their lives. It wasn't the kind of news any mother is prepared to hear. For Meghan, the initial shock was accompanied by a deep sense of dread and helplessness. She had always prided herself on being a strong, capable woman, someone who could handle whatever life threw her way. But nothing could have prepared her for this. Hart had always been a spirited child, full of energy and curiosity. But as he grew, Meghan began to notice subtle differences in his development compared to his twin brother Hayes. At first, these differences seemed small: minor delays in speech, a slight lack of coordination. Friends and family reassured her that every child develops at their own pace, and there was no need to worry. But Meghan's instincts told her something was off. Determined to find answers, Meghan embarked on a journey that would take her through a labyrinth of doctor's appointments, tests, and evaluations. The process was grueling, not just for Hart, but for Meghan as well. Each appointment brought a mix of hope and fear. She held onto the hope that the doctors would tell her everything was fine, that her son was just a late bloomer. But deep down, Meghan knew she needed to prepare herself for the possibility of something more serious. The diagnosis, when it finally came, was a crushing blow. Meghan was told that Hart had a neurological disorder, a condition that would impact his development and require ongoing therapy and support. The words echoed in her mind, each one landing like a physical punch to the gut. It felt surreal, like she was living someone else's life. This couldn't be happening to her son, her precious little boy who had brought so much joy and love into her life. In the days that followed, Meghan went through a whirlwind of emotions. She cried until there were no tears left, screamed into the void, and even found herself questioning why this was happening to her family. There were moments of despair, where the weight of the diagnosis felt too heavy to bear. But through it all, Meghan knew she had to be strong for Hart. He needed her now more than ever. She threw herself into learning everything she could about his condition. Meghan spent countless hours researching, reaching out to specialists, and connecting with other parents who were facing similar challenges. She wanted to ensure Hart had the best possible care and the support he needed to thrive, despite the obstacles ahead. As a mother, Meghan knew that the road ahead would be difficult. There would be days when the progress would be slow, when the therapies would feel like an uphill battle, but she also knew that she would do whatever it took to help her son. Meghan was determined to be his advocate, his biggest cheerleader, and his unwavering source of love and support. Sharing Hart's diagnosis with the world was not an easy decision for Meghan. The reality star had always been open about her life, but this felt different. This was deeply personal, a part of her that was raw and vulnerable. But Meghan knew that by sharing their story, she could raise awareness and possibly help other families who were going through similar experiences. Her social media post, Meghan spoke candidly about the challenges they were facing and the love she had for her son. She described the journey they were on, one filled with uncertainty but also with hope. Meghan acknowledged that while Hart's diagnosis was devastating, it did not define him. He was still the same bright, loving, and resilient child he had always been. She promised to stand by his side, to fight for him, and to celebrate every milestone, no matter how small. The response to Meghan's post was overwhelming. Fans, fellow housewives, and even strangers flooded her with messages of support, love, and encouragement. Many shared their own stories of raising children with special needs, offering advice and a sense of community. Meghan was deeply touched by the outpouring of compassion and solidarity. It reminded her that she was not alone in this journey, that there were others who understood the challenges and triumphs she and Hart would face. As Meghan navigates this new chapter in her life, she has found strength in the love of her children and the support of her friends and family. She knows there will be tough days ahead, but she also knows that Hart is a fighter. Together they will face whatever comes their way with courage and resilience. In many ways, Hart's diagnosis has reshaped Meghan's perspective on life. She has learned to appreciate the small victories, to find joy in the little things, and to cherish every moment with her children.